everybody. Jeff here.
Megan.
That's right, Megan's here. So what are we looking at today, Megan?
Batman Fluxx.
Batman! Yes, it was that annoying playing this game together. For anybody else that might have walked in. Not for us. So yeah, we're going to be looking at Batman Fluxx from Looney Labs. And this, by the time this comes out, this is already in the stores. They were kind enough to send us a review copy early and give us some dates when things are going to be released. So this is like one of 3 Fluxx-related products that we're going to be looking at here in the coming month or so. And so, Batman Fluxx. If you know Fluxx, you know how to play the game. It's one of those very easy games to kind of get new people into because it starts with a very basic set of rules and kind of expands from there. So as things get played out, you get to kind of explain what's going on next with each new rule that's added. Base rules, of course, draw 1, play 1. There you go. How do you win the game? That gets determined as you play the game because you'll have goals that come out, and that goal will determine at that particular time, as long as nobody else plays another goal, how you'll win the game. So Batman Fluxx did bring a couple new things to the Fluxx universe. Usually every variant that comes out isn't just necessarily a total retheme. They usually add 1 or 2 new things. And so what do you think they added for this one?
Well, I never saw the surprise cards before, so I haven't played the last couple variations. Mm-hmm. And then the creepers, being that I don't know, they were somewhat easy to get rid of, but also part of the goals and.
Right. So surprise cards were something that at least we haven't seen in a while, and so those are cards that can be played outside of your turn. It has a different effect when it's not your turn, and it has an ability if you want to play it during your turn. So that was kind of interesting to see. And the creepers, as Megan was mentioning, most of the time, the creepers are all the Batman villains. So as you're playing the game, everybody's on Batman's side as you're playing the game. So if the goal out doesn't require some form of villain, which basically means suddenly you've kind of flipped sides for whatever reason. So I guess we're kind of Catwoman almost in this game. Sometimes we're on Batman's side, sometimes we're on the villain side. But if there's a villain goal out, then the creepers are free for all, basically. They can be out. But if there's a goal that doesn't require a villain, you're considered on Batman's side. So nobody can win as long as there's a creeper out. So you can lay down the winning combination, but if there's any other Batman villains out, and again, the goal doesn't require a Batman villain, you still can't win until you get rid of all the creepers. So that was kind of an interesting new twist as well. And like she said, the surprises. Some of the rules were kind of interesting. New rule cards that you get to play. Some of them I know I've seen in various versions in other games, but there were some pretty cool ones. And overall, I really like the fact that it is the Batman animated series art. That is pretty cool. I mean, obviously at this point, there's like 1,000 different ways you can potentially go with Batman, but the animated series is near and dear to a lot of people's hearts, and in a lot of people's minds, that is Batman. That kind of is where Batman lives and breathes. So it's cool to kind of see that artwork come out. So again, this is an initial impressions video. Of course, you'll be seeing at this point, the game will definitely be playing behind us. What did you think of this version of Fluxx?
I really enjoyed it. But I love Batman, and I love Fluxx. Fluxx was one of the first games you introduced me to. And so it holds a special place in my heart. Oh. But I also love...
And the winner. Best acting in a video series.
Not even close. But like you were saying, I really enjoyed the fact that it was the Batman animated. Because I know we enjoyed the animated series.
Very much so. It's on the shelf over here.
It is. I really had fun with it. I don't know what else I can say. I love Fluxx, and I love this version.
And like Megan said, this was probably one of the first games I kind of introduced her to, the Fluxx series. And we've played many games since then. But this, to me, is a nice one to kind of potentially start with because the rules are so basic when you start. And like I said earlier, as new rule cards come out, you can kind of explain them and the rules kind of build. Now, you've actually, since I taught you, you've taught some other people as well. How do you feel about this as a potential teaching game or a first start game?
I think it's really good for like teenagers, young kids who are familiar with Batman, and I think the cartoony aspect of it will really help. And Fluxx is really, when you want it to be, a very logical, and you really have to have strategy and a lot of brain behind it, more so than just, chance games. And I think for a younger kid, I think that would be the Batman is just another attraction to this game.
Yeah, let's not make any mistakes. There is some randomness to it, obviously, because the goals always kind of are switching in and out, and it's based on the cards you have in your hand and stuff like that. But I think one of the things, like Megan was saying, is like when you get up into those play 3, play 4, play whatever, however many cards you have to play out of your hand, a lot of times you might spend a moment trying to figure out what the right order is to play, or and again, cards, new rules take effect immediately. So I mean, you can play something that either immediately ends your turn or extends your turn, or get you more cards, all that kind of stuff. So the order of play can kind of matter, and you kind of want to make sure also when you're playing, you're setting yourself up and trying to not help out your opponents as much as possible as well. And sometimes that can be tricky if you're doing like 5-6 plays, or if the play all card is out, that kind of thing. So that is kind of cool, I think, the watching the order and trying to actually think about, okay, I really don't want to do it in this order, I want to do it in this order, that kind of thing. So there is a little bit of that strategy in there, while at the same time, again, being a very simple game to kind of teach other people. So anything else you want to say about Batman Fluxx before we wrap up?
No.
All right. So again, Batman Fluxx from Looney Labs is out in stores now. We recommend it. We think it's a great game to check out and play with new players, and we love the theme and what they added in Fluxx for this particular theme. So definitely go check it out. Thanks for watching. Again, like I said, Megan and I will be back later. We've got at least 2 more Fluxx products we'll be looking at. And who knows, I might have some other things around here that Megan would like to play. All right, guys. Thanks a lot. I'll wait.
As you should.